Hey everybody, Ken Adams here, coming back at you with our next series from P2P Labs. Today I'm going to talk about AI at work, kind of like the internal use cases every service provider should be deploying now, right? So look, AI isn't coming someday, it's here. And if you're in telecom, the question isn't if you'll use it, but where you'll let it take work off your plate. I mean, everybody loves the hype, the shiny features, the press releases, but the reality is simple. AI is not a feature, it's a coworker. And if you know how to plug it in, it'll be the best hire you make this year. So let's talk about the platforms you're hearing about. Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, plethora of others, and what some of them are actually good for inside your shop. So Grok is a fast, it's snappy, it's a little quirky. It's great for staying on top of customer chatter, market shifts, or even spotting trends on X before your competition. Kind of think of it as your scout, right? Your social media scout. ChatGPT, this is the Swiss Army knife. This one's for the internal docs, the knowledge bases, drafting customer emails, even building out partner playbooks. It's like hiring, like a tireless technical writer who never complains and never takes a coffee break, right? And doesn't ask you for a pizza every day either, and so much more. But anyways, now here for those of you on Google, Gemini, I use it. I use Grok, GPT, Gemini, and Copilot, which I'm going to talk about. But Gemini is Google's strength is search and data. We know that. That's how they built their empire. It's perfect for digging through reports, pulling competitive insights, or slicing call data trends in ways that would normally take your team, some time. It could be hours sometimes, actually. And for those of you in the Microsoft space, you have your buddy in the office, Copilot. I mean, inside Excel, it can build revenue models in seconds. Inside PowerPoint, it can literally crank out polished decks for sales. Inside Teams, if you're not using it there yet, it gives you meeting recaps so you don't have to ask, wait, who's doing what? And in fact, can take the place of some of the other meeting, AI note takers are using out there. So that's the tool belt. But the real question is, how do you use them in telecom or in your service provider practice? Let's tie that into some of our products here at P2P Labs. With Cosmos, you can imagine billing that doesn't just send invoices, but actually flags churn risk, drafts proactive outreach, and explains usage patterns in plain English, along with a full-fledged class 4, class 5 switch behind it. And then you add AI on top of that, and that's just Cosmos with AI in the loop. You can do AI billing with that. You can bill for usage of AI and API and all kinds of stuff I've talked about in some of my other posts. Then we have Helios, which is an over-the-top omni-channel engagement platform. So instead of waiting around, for leads to come in and things like that, you can set up Helios with AI bots, AI chat bots tied to your knowledge base, tied to your website, tied to your sales and branding and marketing efforts, and all that kind of stuff. And it can literally lead your prospects through a journey and then connect them with somebody live, right? Depending on how you want those workflows to go and stuff like that. So in this case, we're not playing that, oh, there's a lead in the CRM. Oh, it came in 5 days ago. We're instantly answering the prospects who come to your website's question. And we can instantly help your current customers if you connect your knowledge base to the Helios chatbot as well. So another case where AI is helping you in real time. So it's kind of like if you're looking and still waiting for the perfect AI strategy, just stop. The perfect move is to just start. Start with what you have. If you're a Microsoft shop, use Copilot. Play around with ChatGPT. You can use Grok for free on X, so play around with that as well. If you haven't, use Notebook LM to turn whatever you want, basically, that you upload to it into a podcast style. Like if you're an Audible learner and you want to, you guys have something going on internally that you have to learn a new product or you're learning something new, put everything up in there, create a podcast with it, and then take it on the road with you, right? That's another platform that a lot of people are overlooking. I use, and another one I use, Notebook LM. I use it quite a bit. The podcast creation is actually so good that you could upload it to, you know, a repository for your customers to listen to and things like that. Some of the other stuff out there that some of you might be playing with, like Lovable to build like apps or at least build an MVP for an app and stuff like that. Those are great. I don't know if any of you are using Manus yet, but I've needed to build out some quick portal designs just to see what it looks like, and Manus does a really good job with it. It also has an agent inside of it that can help me with a lot of other stuff. If you haven't looked at Perplexity, man, talk about search on steroids. I use Perplexity as my go-to search engine now over Google every day. In fact, I use the Comet browser for that. I don't use it for my everyday because there are some security issues with it, exploit issues and stuff like that. But I do use it on a daily basis quite a bit throughout the day to help me search for stuff. So anyways, start with one platform, use one use case, one workflow. You don't need a lab coat. You don't need a rocket scientist degree. You need AI plugged into the tools that you already own. At P2P Labs, we're helping service providers do exactly that. We're turning AI from a buzzword into a business advantage, because at the end of the day, AI isn't replacing your staff. It's replacing your staff's stress. Well, guys, this is Ken Adams, ramblings from an old telecom guy. Let's put AI to work in your shop today.